This is refine the self and gather in the mind. 练习收心. So it's basically just preparing for the voyage ahead. And this can take anywhere from 5 minutes to 45 minutes. So right now we're doing, I think it's about half hour, 35 minutes, something like that, right? Yeah. So that includes we go out to the room, come back, do the center line, and then really just gets the body and mind ready for the other methods. So that's preparation. And then what you do is then you have components and you stack onto the preparation. After you prepare, then you start doing stuff. And he breaks it down into components. And so these components are flexible. You can move them around. You can do them in different orders. And you have these components, and that's what you're doing. And then after you're done the components, there's silent sitting for half hour to an hour. And then you do the closing. So preparation there's a lot in there, but it's pretty straightforward in terms of what you're trying to do.
Yes. What makes it shorter?
Yes, it's very flexible. And he says that. This stuff's there's a lot of flexibility. There's no rules. There's no rules. So I'm giving you structure, right? But it's an illusion. There's actually no structure. It's just a way to help understand it. So the preparation, all you need to do is still the mind and body.
Okay, so you can stop before the
ear,
you find the room and with the ear, and
absolutely. And every retreat, the
the
preparation is always different. So it changes it. So you're just constantly coming at it from different angles.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could try to do at least 5 minutes. Just you're looking to still the mind and body actively. So not just sit in silence, but actively. Maybe do body pore breathing. Focus on the inner cavity.
Mm-hmm.
And in the old days, actually, for more basic level, the best way to do a little body pore breathing. But he's teaching more advanced. So you can play with this. And so the first component is Li Kai Tian Wu, which is the opening. That's the first one he taught. And then we did the 3 spaces. Observe Guan San Kong, observing the 3 spaces. That's where we go inside and we just look. And then we do a little breathing with it. Right? See if you see the shape, color, or brightness coming out. Just observe. Guan. So we look inside. We turn around the observation. Then we look and then we observe. So observe. There's technical terms which aren't really that important right now.
So when you look inside, I'm trying to look at my nose, look at my mouth, look at my throat, look at my heart, look at my hand, instead of going this way.
Yeah, so try to, you use the eyes, you move the eyes, but, it's not really the eyes that are doing it.
Because actually the visual cortex is here.
And that's where a heavenly mirror is. And so when you get good, you look from here. That's the heavenly, which he has right here.
That's great, I was going to ask you that later.
So this here is a heavenly mirror. What we can use this for is we can use it to observe. So this illuminates the whole interior. But if you can't get there yet, then what he says is eyes look to the nose to the heart, and then heart down. And that's just a way of focusing inside, I think. Any way you can get inside is good.
That's really different.
There's not just one way of doing it, right?
Okay. Well, this makes sense. I like your idea of the mirror to look down.
Yes.
Maybe this is going to talk to me more.
Yeah. But so with the Li Kai Tian, with the opening the celestial eye, we really work it first to get to here, and then we get to here, and then you bring it back even more, and you just bring that awareness right to the back. And it's very almost physical. Your eyes kind of. It's not. There's something else going on, but I don't understand what. But it's not just. You're not just imagining it in front of your eyes. You'll feel like you're right in the back.
Well, I think it's all physical. It's just that some is so subtle that we don't recognize it as physical.
Sure. Yeah. No. I think you're probably right. So he generally doesn't use much visualization. It's more. You can use visualization to kind of start things, but usually we observe and allow things
Mm.
to appear. Yeah, is it anterior? Yeah, anterior to the spinal cord, and it goes right down to the hui. And these change as well, depending on your level of practice and what's happening. These will move around. Initially, when you start, they're really close together, and then they start moving apart more. And then you have the thrusting where the chomai comes in the
In
middle.
between. Oh, that's interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
trauma is in
Yeah.
between.
Yeah, so these aren't even the chomai yet.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's just Chongmai is a space. It's not a structure.
Chomai, so the chomai is in the center of the inner cavity. So when we do the inner cavity stuff, we're breathing with it to pressurize and manifest the chomai. So this does change a lot. And then we have lines here, which aren't important for right now. Here's another one there.
And actually, when
There's three main kinds of energy, but they're all chi. They're all energy, just different
Flavors.
different frequencies of. So we have Jing, and this is where Jing resides. And this is Qi, this is where Qi resides. And this is Shen. And then we observe the three inner spaces. We go inside and look. And then we do the inner cavity. And the inner cavity, the shape can change. And it's not entirely anatomical physically. It is an energetic space, so it generally follows the body, but when you really start working with it, it becomes its own thing, and you'll forget the physical body, and you'll just feel this column of qi.
Are you thinking? I mean, it's spherical. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
It's three-dimensional, but it's easier to think for me from the sides. Think simultaneously.
Yeah.
Not think, but.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Put your focus on it. Put your awareness on it. Yeah. You gotta get all three sides, three-dimensional.
Top and bottom.
Yeah, he said don't worry too much about the bottom because it'll naturally be closed.
Okay.
And then top, he said don't worry about either. So really just get the sides of it.
Okay.
He once said that. And there is another practice where we actively work with that, but
Not this time.
not this time. Yeah, it was
Mhm.
about several years ago that he went through that. It's called this is a little, it's just a different mode of practicing. So this stuff is actually more advanced because we're working with Shen and Yi. Shen and Yi it's less physical. It's more, I don't want to use the word mental, but it's more about our awareness and focusing our awareness on areas. Before, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, if you did a retreat with him, it'd be much more body, pore breathing, and really contracting and expanding the organs, contracting and expanding the body, and working more with the Jing energy. And so now, and then it gets more subtle. But again, that's theoretical, so don't worry about it. So there's many different kinds of breathing. There's natural breathing. And natural breathing is divided into regulated natural breathing and unregulated natural breathing. Unregulated natural breathing is just your natural Wu Wei breathing. Regulated natural breathing is you start to regulate the natural breath. But it doesn't matter where it is. There's nose breathing, which we haven't done a lot this retreat, but nose breathing. But the main ones we use is called internal breathing and external breathing. So internal breathing is breathing that happens, your focus happens inside the body. And then external breathing is the focus of the breathing, the contraction, expansion is outside the body.
So outside the pores.
Yeah,
also.
from the pores outward. So the pores are the boundary. So if you're breathing from the pores outward, it's external. From the pores inwards is internal.
So inner breathing is not necessarily inside the cavity. It's just.
It could be.
Okay.
Usually it is in the cavity,
Okay.
to be honest.
Okay.
I've done inner breathing in my, you breathe up.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can do it there, but generally it's in inner. And it's just a matter of focus. Where are you focusing on the breath? Because for most of us, there's still air going in and out of the nose. For me, there is anyways. But it will become subtler and subtler. It's just we're not focused on the air. We don't pay attention to it. So it just keeps the Shen and Yi inside the body for that breathing.
So you synchronize with the air, but your focus is either inside or outside.
Yes, you ignore the nose breathing. Yeah, so it's where your Shenyi is, so your awareness and intention and your Shen. It's out, like if you're breathing with the room, then it's out here. Yeah, so those are the main kind of breathings. Yeah, then we do the coming down, right, inside the body. And this is a really good exercise to clean us out. And that's one practice. But he combines that practice with a second practice, which is called the Huiyin breathing, which is where we do the intense breathing thing. And we usually do that twice. And then we do that, pull a piece of pure yang into our xiatian. So again, there's some Taoist theory we could go into, but I think I'll just skip it. I mean, it's more about practice.
But I do have a question why it's yang. This is the most in place.
Yeah.
So why is it
But there's
yang?
it's yin bao zhi yang. So it's, do you know the I Ching at all?
No, not really.
Not really.
No.
Okay,
No.
so
I do.
so a broken line,
Ah.
and then a solid line, and then a broken line. So it's yin, but there's yang in the middle.
Okay.
And so we want to. So
That's
this is the
middle
most
sun.
yin point of the body.
Yeah.
Very, very yin, right? So
It
it's
still
it's
has-
dark, it's opaque. We never look at it. We're always out here. This is very yang in front of us, right? So what we're doing through this practice is we're turning around that yang and looking inside and illuminating inside, so it becomes more and more yang. And even the most yin point, which is this point, we pull that. There's a piece of yang in there, and then we pull that into here. And this also becomes the same. It's yin, yang within yin.
So this is not to relate to earth square then. It's more to water gua then.
Sorry?
If you talk about the I Ching, then this is the water gua that you.
Oh yeah,
described, right?
yeah. Okay, yeah,
So,
can, yeah.
Yeah, but then if it's the most in, I was picturing the earth square then.
Yeah, yeah. So once you've taken yang out of there, then what does this become? Becomes
Okay.
earth.
Okay.
And once it takes the most, then this becomes heaven.
Yes,
And then
from the
heaven,
fire too.
earth are in their proper places. And we are in the middle. So that's
That
that's
makes sense.
xiantian, so that's pre-heaven.
Yes.
But we have it's a process of getting to pre-heaven in every moment. Right? So post-heaven is different.
Okay. I was thinking because the yang comes from the Shangguan and then
Yeah.
and that's, but okay.
And he even mentioning, he said you can really get into the Bagua and I Ching with it, but he said it's too complicated, so he didn't want to get too much into it. But you can map it onto the whole body. And it's really, I mean, it's not that important for us. The main thing is we want to experience this stuff. We want to feel the chi. We want to feel what that feels like. Theory can be distracting.
So how would you translate Qinghong?
So it's very difficult to
Yeah.
translate. I just translate it as purifying the inner space. It's not a great translation, but it makes sense. It makes
Absolutely.
sense, right?
Absolutely.
Purifying the inner space. And this is, I just call this Huiyin breathing. It's what is it? Tianyou Jieming, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
But Tianyou Jieming is a practice we can do in other places in the body as well. It's not just here.
Can we hear that one again?
Okay. So, 法中有术, 术中有理, 理中有法. So within methods are techniques, and within techniques are principles, and within principles are methods. So it's a circular thing. And the secrets are often the methods. So in the old days, Taoists would teach techniques and principles, give them away, but methods were held for the close initiates. And so methods are the really interesting ones, and that's how you
It
do
goes
something.
to the origin, like I guess
Yeah.
the method is what it ties everything together.
Yes, it's what ties it all
Yeah.
together and gives us direction in our practice. So body pore breathing is a technique, but how you use it to get what goal to try and do something is more of the method type stuff. And then the principles would be like yin and yang,